certainly. Merry Christmas, Aquarius, or whatever holidays you celebrate, however you say it. All right, December, or whenever you find this. Welcome to the space, new or returning. Okay, Aquarius. So you and Sag are on the same day. After their reading, I felt nervous, and then I had like a big cry. About my own kind of stuff, but then also like I realized I had to be cognizant of the fact of what I just interacted with, and then realized like I need to release that energy too, like especially when things are intense. It could be just a hard day at work, it could be something, again, I see the word really intensive. So all right, there's that. I feel like your work houses or work is highlighted some way. I'm seeing the 6th and 10th house. And I rolled the dice and it ended up with Neptune in the 6th, which is interesting. This could be a little bit of a all right, how do I see this? This could be a spiritual battle. It could also be where something in ways of health is kind of I guess there's so many things. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Neptune can show illusion or like fogginess around things. So in the 6th house, if we take that as health, it could be like something's going on, but it doesn't make sense. Right? And in that way, I saw something in the beginning where, because we're all dealing with health things, right? We get to a certain age and basically we have to pay attention to our health. That's basic. We probably should all do it way before we do, right? But the point is that like if some traditional medicine isn't working, or if you want to roll this, Neptune is showing me rolling in some kind of spiritual healing some way or another, and even in addition to, say, some sort of like physical healing. Like these two things can overlap. This could be, there are so many different forms of alternative healing that Neptune, right? And I don't know why it's been coming, but maybe it's what's happening in the sky in this time frame, but past life regression has been coming through collectively pretty strong this month. Neptune in the 6th would be mirroring the 12th, which is these past lives. So maybe that's like getting some old energy out, like if you believe in that. And if you don't believe in technically other lives, as depending on your perspective, we could also be just looking at this as your past, meaning like how from when you were born until now, and soothing that, because to me I see Neptune always for a long time as a tuning fork, and even those need to be tuned, right? So it's, again, there's some kind of attunement is happening spiritually, and or it wants your attention in that way. I see, especially if you're having any kind of physical thing. Another sign talked about this, but where to me, in ways of health and astrology and the body, etc., I like to visualize it like the 4 wheels on the car are or the 4 directions, how 4 seasons, etc. It's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, right? All 4 of we have to touch on all 4 of these, because the thing is, and this, I wanted to read this to you. It says, you look for ways to show concern for people, especially those who have problems. It can be satisfying to know that your actions have helped to improve others' general well-being, and when they appreciate your efforts, you are inspired to continue. So this showed me, first and foremost, that you very much are a giver, and or you have been giving lately, and you're concerned for people, and especially those who are having a hard time. Like that's a being of service, right? The sixth house is being of, it's being the house of the servant. So it's serving there some way or another. And this doesn't have to be your job, like you're a tarot reader or you're a psychologist or whatever. It's the fact that, like, you genuinely want the improvement of others' well-being. Like, that's in your awareness, right? Others' well-being. But I also see as you are such a powerful, intelligent, and at times private person, that this kind of soft teacher or help is also available to you if you want it, right? When the student starts asking certain questions, a teacher will arrive to answer them, right? So this could even be a little bit of like any kind of counseling. Oh, in relation to those who are also big helpers, those of you here, this is part of the cross of this, and I'm seeing like Jesus with the cross on his back, something heavy here, where it says you may be too self-critical and have too many doubts about your abilities. You aren't responsible for solving all of mankind's problems yourself, but you should take initiative in doing whatever you can do to help. Don't assume that your ideas won't work until you have the opportunity to try them. You owe that much to yourself and to society. Any contribution will demonstrate that you are sincerely concerned. So someone's actually really good at something, but they don't know it. They do more than they think that they do. You are also one of the greatest healers of yourself. But again, I see that and that has a lot to do with their mental space, right? If someone believes like, I can change this, this is going to be the outcome. That isn't always the case, but there's a higher probability that it can come true when someone puts their mind to it, right? Okay. Oh, you know what's weird? What is it with the Sag? I guess Sag Aquarius combination has been happening collectively. So we have air and fire, but they're at odds with one another. And you and Sag are on the same day. And haven't we been talking about this? Like, what Sages do you know? Like, or something about that in your map has been highlighted pretty strongly. Oh yeah, some of you Sag Moon, other placements, right? Neptune, Uranus. These are generational too. So we're talking about these bigger parts of things. What's the next step in your path, Aquarius? Both. Okay. There's some kind of evolution of emotionality. Interesting. You're meant to immerse yourself in something. It's trying to bring 2 points together, but it feels kind of muddy. Someone's looking for is looking for or finds like the fountain of youth or the sacred water. Where's the closest waterfall to you? I also see like the closest canyon. There's owls on this card. Maybe you'll see them. Something about swans too. So the keywords here are immersion and evolution. So we're immersed in change right now. This technique, you have the Ace of Cups for Tarot's sake. You have Ace of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So love is actually, I want you to know that you're loved. Some of you are softening, right? Something's softening. Again, that kind of mud, because if we take earth and water, we're mixing it together. I guess it depends on how much we have of each, right? I'm seeing a potter. Do you make pottery? I'm seeing that kind of like creation of things, like you're combining two elements. And then you add a third, right? We add fire, well, we use air to dry it out, and then we use fire to bake it, to cure it. It's kind of like I'm all in. I'm all in. All right, I've decided. I'm all in. It's like they really have to trust this next. There's also something about maybe there will be a little bit of a going to see a friend, or like traveling a little bit. I don't think it's too far. I guess someone could be immersing themselves in a bit of a like what kind of feels good to them. I don't know why we said kind of. Kind of feels good. I mean, this is a love that's steady, but it's interesting because it's as if these things are changing while other things stay the same. So maybe you want to take note of what those are so you can understand the mathematical equation before, because Aquarius, you're so smart. Even when we were talking about the pottery and using the different elements, like in my mind, I was having there was this whole other conversation about the percentages of what that actually would be and what would be perfect to like make that, you know, depending on the environment and everything. It was a very complex. So there's multiple things again going on. I heard again, please take note of that. I heard what's good, what's easy. Oh yeah, some of you will be traveling, or someone will come visit you, you go visit them. Actually, someone could come at a great distance. Oh, Merry Christmas, by the way. Since it's Christmas time, I guess you could be traveling for that. Huh. Let's see what's hindering you. Everyone has one, so don't worry about it. Sorry, I was crying. Does that make... Yeah, the few times that I wear makeup, I always get it all over my face. I don't even know why I bother. It's not really who I am. Okay, what's your hindrance? This cohesion. This came for Scorpio and one other sign. So, hold on. It's like, I hope this works, I hope it works, I hope it works, I hope it works. Like, I heard, don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. It's see, it's like firing that pottery. So we've gotten to that stage, but it's almost like, is all the, because look, we needed the earth, then we add just enough water to make it smooth enough, but sturdy enough to hold itself. Then we use air, and we have to wait. And what the air does is suck all the water out of it. But the hindrance is that we're at firing stage, or that's what it's showing us, is like one being at the firing stage, but they were kind of impatient, or someone was impatient where they're like, no, let's fire it right now. Let's do it right now. But it's like, wait, all the water wasn't out of it yet. We didn't finish a stage yet. And we have to be patient. Because if you put the pottery in the fire too early, again, when there's too much of something still in it, then it cracks. Now the thing is we can grind that up and make it into dirt again and mix it with water and start all over. It's not like we technically lose anything beyond, I guess, time and energy, maybe money. But it's less about that latter thing. It's more of the, because okay, let's say for instance one, it has an opportunity where they realize, okay, I haven't gotten to this stage yet where it's pushing, then don't push. If someone's trying to rush you into something, it's not, I don't feel like you want to wait a little bit. Maybe wait until February, maybe your birthday. For something. It might even be into March, April, depending. Because again, something is taking a little bit longer, because I think it's hard. Because look, let's go back to that pottery example. We make the pot, it's sitting, it's drying out. Now, say it was a hot summer day in New Mexico. That's going to dry pretty quickly. It's dry heat. If it was in a really moist, muggy area, it's going to take longer because there's a lot of water in the air around it. So it's not only you as the potter and the pot, but like the environment around you and whatever you're trying to cure, I guess, the sixth house, this potter, again, example, that's the end result. It is cured, it is fired, it is now able to be used and is a sacred vessel. Okay. Cancer is also one of your inconjuncts, and Mars is there. That can very much like upset the stomach. It can really mess with like the gut flora and fauna, your good bacteria in your gut. Which actually is one of the things that if we happen to ever swallow anything that isn't good for us, even if it's like air particles, that if it gets past our cilia and we don't cough or sneeze or spit it up, then when it gets to the acid, it'll eat it up. So well, that's interesting. So because when Mars is in Cancer, it creates more acidity, which does show a little bit of an imbalance in the stomach, but which can show an imbalance in us emotionally. Whether that's anger or aggression in some way, or just fear as a I don't know what this is, as a sliding thing. So Oh yeah, let's do a mudra for you, because I can feel stress in someone's body, which is coming through their mind. And it's because there isn't technically like answers for things yet. Patience, I can wait. So this image, if you can see, or this would be a good time to look at the screen. This is as if you are looking at yourself. That's what your hands would do. So we take our left hand, grab our ring finger with our right hand, and our thumb in the palm. Patience. I feel like looking at a tree when you're doing that could also be helpful. They're very patient. Oh, you're supposed to wrap all your fingers around. Excuse me. That's patience. This is our sun finger. Right, so that's the sun is the father. So, and in some ways we could call it like the masculine divine energy. So it's being patient with that, being patient in our hearts about something. This also fortifies the liver, regulates the body temperature, and helps to balance out strong emotions and inner conflicts. That's actually perfect. It says everything which grows regenerates during a healing process, for instance. It regenerates, develops, and unfolds particular needs in a certain time. My patience and inner calm increase from moment to moment. Okay. This could also be a bit of, how do we see it? Well, let's see what's favorable. I guess we've sat enough with what is hindering. And we gave exercise on how to do something about that in a few different ways. So let's, like Sag said, now that we have the information, let's do what would be helpful. And of course, if we're dealing and healing, however that is, in relation to bigger topics or multiple, I see infractions of things, then I see we have to give space for that. Okay. Oh, and realize that you have the tools that you need. There's a bunch of people waiting for you. You can see things, someone can see things that other people can't see. Maybe they can kind of see the future, or they can see where things are going, and it's as if their opinion and maybe other people's opinions are not matching. In ways, meaning in ways of understanding. It's like even those within the group are, everyone's on a different point in the path, and I guess there's, let's see. Well, again, I see. All right, you're Aquarius, right? We're talking to Aquarius. Aquarius is like the group loner, right? All the air signs are enigmas to me, because you can be both of it. You can be both sides of it, right? The community, the whole world, understanding what the whole world needs to be what it needs to be, way ahead of why is the world like this? It shouldn't be. But outside of this larger sort of, again, these bigger group dynamics, it's like you're just a lone wolf individual that, like, probably, I would assume, doesn't really feel understood by others a lot, even folks within, again, your own communities at times, even within your own families, like these really tight, so you can make the circle as tight as you want, conjoin it, but this could even be your marriage partner, but there's always some kind of like weird, like like I'm seeing where a person can only get so close. Huh. Just a minute. Saturn in Virgo and Venus in Libra. Well, I guess we could spend a bunch of time trying to figure out something that's not obvious right now. But I don't know if that's what we're supposed to do. Let's see what you have to let go of. Because in a time of great giving, there's a time of, well, giving is letting go. Right? What do you have to let go of, Aquarius? Verification. Oh, some of you are an artist, but you're like, I'm seeing where someone is like an amazing artist and they're finally the way I'm seeing letting go is like letting other people see their art. Like, because art to me, the way I'm seeing it is like this painting that someone's been working on by themselves in the dark. And it's like, even their own, maybe some certain people have seen it, but like it would be very intimate. But this is more like, okay, I'm letting this go. I'm putting this song out on the internet. Now it exists there all the time, like for all time or whatever, as long as the internet exists. It's like, I'm putting my art in that gallery. I'm gonna tell them how I feel. So I guess what you have to let go of is what's gonna happen. Because art's interesting. It's not about whether, because people are gonna like it and people are not gonna like it, right? Everyone has a different opinion on it. But it's not about that. It's just an expression of the person who created it. I mean, I guess this could be a little bit of, if this is what you have to let go of. Look, there's a horse with, can you see that? There's a horse, this guy like shoeing a horse. Some more Sagittarius energy. There's like a teepee in the background. Someone's a blacksmith? Or this is also like Aries energy. Let me see, Sagittarius energy. What you have to let go of. Well, that maybe you don't think you're good enough. I heard someone say they're gonna judge me. And I guess right now is a time to say thank you for what you have, because I see someone giving again. I mean, it's a time of giving. Maybe that's it. Maybe some of you were like, that's what you give for Christmas, is like a piece of your art. You know, or an object of yours that's of great importance to another. Because it would almost be something that a person would kind of want to keep for themselves, but they know that they've already, that it's okay to share it with someone else. Because someone's super different here. I mean, maybe that's a bit, I do think that that's a little bit part of it. Just a sec. What's on your bucket list? I feel like some of you have like fulfilled your bucket list in a way. I guess that shows it could show satisfaction. I know I've hit that point. I kind of received, I remember realizing in my life that I kind of received everything that I've ever kind of asked for. And it was interesting because, I mean, I guess I don't know if what I asked for and what other people asked for would be of similar caliber, you know, to the amount of it or what have you, you know, but, and I did always get what I wanted. I think we all do. We get what we want, what we ask for. It may not be in the way that we figured that it might, but we always get it. And, you know, I guess it's hard once you find that place of contentment where you're like, well, you know, this Maya, this physical world doesn't matter. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. They're just pieces to play with in the puzzle while we're here, right? But, you know, what happens when you reach contentment? Like, what does that look like then? I heard, who are you then? And how do you enjoy life in wanting to receive, say, more of something if you already feel like you have everything that you've ever asked for? So there's a little bit of a, I guess, mental dilemma. Accomplishment. And maybe that's the thing, as it goes all the way around, maybe a person just comes to really understand that, like, well, comes to be more present in this time frame, you know, like more conscious. Huh. When's the last time you danced with another? Okay. It's starting to go into these, it's trying to slip back into these old times. But I personally don't have the energy to go there right now. Maybe that's just for you. Okay. I love you, Aquarius. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy almost New Year. The solstice. I've been saying to everybody, but Sag is such an interesting season. I mean, it usually has lights and it has music and people buzzing around. But there's always this little undercurrent of because there's less and less light as we move forward. So I see love your loved ones, love yourself. All right, I'll talk to you next time.